invite Alex McPherson up here this morning. He wants to share with us some of the story of our church. Alex?
Thank you, Pastor Howard, for allowing me to speak this morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
My name is Alexander Mills McPherson, Jr. I stand before you a proud and humble man. I am the oldest male in my family. I am an historian of this church. I am presently writing an article for the monthly newsletter. I was baptized in this church in 1960 at the age of 16. My parents were Alexander Sr. and Catherine Elizabeth. My great-great-grandparents were William McPherson Sr. and Elizabeth, who settled here in Livingston Center. Later on became Howell in 1836. He was from Inverness, and she was from Aberdeen, Scotland. They brought with them 3 sons, William Jr., Alexander, and Edward Gregory. Edward Gregory was also my great-grandfather. The first 2 were my great-uncles. William Sr. and William Jr. were blacksmiths, as they were in Scotland also. Martin John McPherson was one of my great-uncles who was born in Howell on May 1st, 1841. Of my great-great-grandparents, they were 2 of the original 25 charter members of this church in 1838. Through the generosity and philanthropy of Martin John, he gave the deed to the church on February 27th, 1914. The church borrowed $10,000 to pay its debts, and on December 15th, 1915, on November 12th, 1918, he forgave the debt. On July 1918, his wife Julia gave an endowment of cash, stocks, and bonds. I was raised in the home of Martin John had built in 1890. It's located at 803 West Grand River. On August 12, 1872, he married Frances Pauline Foster. She was the daughter of Reverend Gustavus Lemieux and Caroline Rash Foster, who was pastor of the First Presbyterian Church of Howell. He joined the First Presbyterian Howell on June 3, 1851, was elected superintendent of the Sunday school on January 5, 1868. He continued in that office 40 years or more as elected superintendent emeritus for life. Mr. McPherson was elected a trustee of the church on January 11, 1882, and a member of the session on February 7, 1892. He and his 3 brothers deeded the property to the Howell Carnegie Library across the street in 1906. He died on November 9, 1931 at the age of 90. The Reverend Lewis S. Brooks spoke at his funeral and was led by Dr. Homer M. Noble from the West Grand River residence. The burial was in Lakeview Cemetery. He was president of McPherson State Bank of Howell. On September 12, 1960, the Howell Chamber of Commerce property was donated by Mr. and Mrs. Robert H. McPherson. His wife, DeRua, was the first female elder of this church. They are my cousins. Could you please bow your head in prayer? May the Lord bless this church and all who are within. Amen. Thank you.